6:15, this is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Niranjan Abesundara. The President, the Prime Minister and the Chinese Defence Minister hold bilateral talks. Sri Lanka commences giving the second dose of the corona vaccine. Results of the GCE Advanced Examination 2020 will be issued within a week. In world news, India's coronavirus deaths exceed 200,000 after a record surge in cases. Sports news, Melbourne Cup. Changes are being introduced after horse deaths. The official meeting between the President, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, and Chinese Defence Minister General Wei Fenghe, who arrived in the country on a two-day official visit, took place this morning at the Presidential Secretariat. President's Media Division said bilateral talks were concluded successfully. Chinese Defence Minister General Wei Fenghe said talks led to further strengthening relations between the two countries. Meanwhile, discussions between the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and the Chinese Defence Minister General Wei Fenghe took place today at Temple Trees. Discussions took place on several issues, including further strengthening bilateral relations. Prime Minister's Director General of Media, Vijayananda Herat, said discussions were highly successful. A spokesman said that the Central Colombo Government Hospital at Maligawatha has given the second dose of corona vaccine today. The vaccine was given first to the medical staff. Second dose of the corona vaccine was given to medical centers in several districts of the country today. Director of the Northern Provincial Health Services, Dr. Arumugam Ketiswaran, said second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine will be given tomorrow to health staff, including doctors and nurses working in the Northern Province. The first phase of the vaccination program was launched at the end of January. Accordingly, 1,400 doctors, nurses, paramedics and staff vaccinated. Northern Provincial Director of Health Services also said about 10,000 people, including medical practitioners from Jaffna University's medical faculty, have been vaccinated. Minister of the GLP said the results of the GCE Advanced Level Examination 2020 will be issued within a week. The plans have been drawn up to admit students to universities in September. The minister said all universities in the country will be opened on the 20th of next month. He said the final decision to reopen schools will be given on the 2nd of next month. The case filed against MP Radha Senaratne in connection with the White Van press conference will be taken up again on the 7th of June. The case filed against former chairman of the State Farm Corporation along with MP Senaratne was called today before the Colombo High Court. Deputy Solicitor General Dilip Apiris made the submissions today. High Court Justice Damit Tatawat ordered to call an attorney at law to examine the computer system on the 14th of May. Attorney General has filed indictments in the Puttalam High Court under Prevention of Terrorism Act and the Terrorist Financing Act against 6 accused of collecting explosives and maintaining explosive manufacturing base in Vanathavilluwa in January 2019. He requested the Chief Justice for trial at bar to try Mohammed Mufiz, Mohammed Hamaz, Ibrahim Mohammed Naufar, Mohammed Sajid, Ibrahim Sadiq Abdullah and Ghaffur Mama. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. District Secretary of Trincomalee, Saman Darshana Pandakorala, has said that the country's economy can be strengthened by improving the business ventures of the low-income people. He said a project called Saubhagya Productive Village has been introduced as mentioned in the President's Vistas Prosperity Manifesto. The Trincomalee District Secretary said that 10 villagers have been selected from the Trincomalee District. He stated this at a discussion held at the Trincomalee District Secretariat today. District Secretary of Manna, A. Stanley Demel, said that they have decided to carry out small-scale maize cultivation in 2,578 acres. It is mentioned that other crops will be cultivated on 400 acres. The Manna District Secretary further said that consultative meeting regarding paddy cultivation was held at Ulinkulam in Manna yesterday. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The number of corona patients reported from the country has exceeded 100,000. Accordingly, 103,487 patients have been reported from the country so far. 94,856 out of them have recovered and left hospitals and treatment centres. Sri Lanka recorded 655 COVID deaths. 7,976 are undergoing medical treatment. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight, the Civil Aviation Authority Medicine Unit has formulated and issued an international all-health clear certificate to their staff so they could carry on their duties anywhere in the world. The certification was issued in association with the International Civil Aviation Organization and European Union Aviation Safety Agency. It is issued to pilots, stewardesses, air traffic controllers, and other airline staff who successfully underwent a complete health check. That came to in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polywasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
India's coronavirus deaths exceed 200,000 after record surge in cases. UK government greenlights self-driving cars on motorways. President of Iran says leaked tape aimed to sow division in Iran. India's toll from the coronavirus surge past 200,000 today, the country's deadliest day, as shortages of oxygen, medical supplies and hospital staff compounded a record number of new infections. The second wave of infections has had at least 300,000 people test positive each day for the past week. The last 24 hours brought 36,060 new cases for the world's largest single-day total, taking India's tally of infections to nearly 18 million. It is also the deadliest day so far, with 3,293 fatalities, carrying a total of 201,187. The UK government today became the first country to announce it will regulate the use of self-driving vehicles at slow speed on the motorways, with first-class cars possibly appearing on public roads soon this year. Britain's Transport Ministry said it was working on specific wording to update the country's highway code for the safe use of self-driving vehicle systems, starting with automated lane-keeping systems which use sensors and software to keep cars within a lane, allowing them to accelerate and brake without driver input. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani has warned against divisions sown by the country's enemies after a leaked audio revealed his top diplomat discussing internal power struggles, stirring up a political storm in the country. More than 3 hours of what is said to be a 7-hour tape of Foreign Minister Mohammad Javad Zarif, speaking about a variety of issues released earlier this week by Iran's International, a London-based Farsi-language media network funded by Saudi Arabia. And back to the headlines of the world news. India's coronavirus deaths exceed 200,000 after record surge in cases. UK government greenlights self-driving cars on motorways. President of Iran says leaked tape aimed to sow division in Iran. That was world news.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
the best discount in this Urdu season, People's Leasing Polywasi. Enjoy an interest rebate of 25% from People's Leasing for all the leasing facilities during this Urdu season. Call 011 206 300 for more details. Conditions apply.
People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
On to development news. The Ministry of Tourism will invest over 519 million rupees for tourism development projects this year. The need for engaging work where tourist attractions are protected when developing infrastructure facilities in tourist zones was emphasized. Minister of Tourism Prasanna Ranatunga has advised officials to pay special attention regarding this when the annual development plan of the Ministry of Tourism is being implemented. On to sports news. Melbourne Cup. Stricter checks on overseas runners will be introduced after reporting the deaths of several horses at the Melbourne Cup in Australia. A total of 41 recommendations, including CT scans for overseas entries before and after arrival, will be adopted. 2019 Derby winner Anthony Van Dyck was euthanized after suffering a broken leg in the 2020 Melbourne race. Melbourne Cup, known as a race that stops Earth Nation and traditionally attracting a crowd of about 100,000 people, has been criticized over its safety record. Boxing news. Former 5-weight world champion Floyd Mayweather's exhibition bout with a YouTuber and amateur fighter Logan Paul has been rescheduled for 6th of June. The bout will take place at Miami's Hard Rock Stadium for 4 months after they have initially scheduled to meet. Mayweather, age 44, ended his career unbeaten in 50 bouts at last fought in 2017, defeating MMA star Conor McGregor in one of the richest bouts in history. Paul, age 26, lost his only previous professional fight in 2019. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
NDB Bank was honored as the BET Corporate Citizen Sustainability Award 2020 with 2 awards, Top 10 Corporate Citizen and Consistent Commitment and Continuous Improvement Governance at the annual event organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce. Winning the award 6 times a day, the bank has been recognized as an organization that is committed to responsible business practices and sustainable value creation. That was Business News.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
On to economic news. Cabinet spokesman Minister Dr. Kelly Rambukwalas said Cabinet approval has been granted to set up a national debt security centre to assist small, medium-scale entrepreneurs. The minister said that this will encourage small, medium-scale entrepreneurs and increase the local production. He said among the major problems faced by these entrepreneurs is the need for banks to guarantee the loan when obtaining a loan. That is economic news. And on to the weather report. Met Department says shower, thundershower occur in several places in the central, Sabaragamuwa, southern, Uva, north central and eastern provinces and the Mullaitivu district during the evening or night. A few showers may occur in the west and southern coast area during the morning tomorrow. Fairly fall, about 50 millimeters can be expected in some places in Sabaragamuwa, Uva and central provinces and in the Gaul and Mathura districts. And back to the headlines of the news. The President, the Prime Minister and the Chinese Defence Minister hold bilateral talks. Sri Lanka commences giving the second dose of the corona vaccine. Results of the GCE Advanced Examination 2020 will be issued within a week. In world news, India's coronavirus deaths exceed 200,000 after a record surge in cases. Sports, Melbourne Cup, changes are to be introduced after horse deaths. That and the news. Back to your friend and mine, Chandra Vidakon, to keep entertained this Thursday evening. Over to you, Chandiba.